So after a really tough away test in France, the four-time whistle is gone and it's finished Lyon 2, Manchester City 2, a result that guarantees our passage into the knockout stages of the Champions League and almost all but secures our space at the top of the group as well. Really tough evening. Let's talk about the game. Yes guys, welcome to the video. As always, before we do get stuck into this, make sure to leave a big thumbs up if you do enjoy the video, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you are new around here. Love to hear your thoughts on the game in the comment section down below as well. I'm recording this literally 10 minutes after the final whistle has gone, so it's all fresh in my mind. I'd love to hear your thoughts, perhaps a little bit more after the dust has settled on what is a very good result away from home against a tough opponent. Of course, this is the second time we played Lyon in the group stage. The first time they actually beat us, so we go one better away from home. But again, they showed what a quality team they are, and they looked very, very dangerous on the night. I think the most sensible place to start off with, as we always say, is the lineups, and for Lyon there weren't too many surprises, to be honest with you. The likes of Dembele started in there, was pivotal again. Fekir in that number 10 role was also very, very impressive, and yeah, it was a very, very similar lineup to the one that they played against us in Manchester. But in terms of our lineup, the City lineup, it was one that I would have never predicted in a million years. I often comment on how hard our lineups are to predict, and it was the same again. I mean, at the starting 11 you had Sane, Mahrez, Sterling and Aguero. How are you going to fit all those players into a system that works is very, very difficult, and it showed in the game really, because we never really got going on the night, and getting a draw, I was very happy to walk away with the point there, because Lyon really deserved to win that game in my opinion. Looking at the rest of the team, we did of course have Fernandinho anchoring that midfield, and then in the back line Zinchenko came in for Delphi, who of course played at the weekend. I think he's trying to rotate those two to keep them fresh, and Zinchenko had a tough evening, to be fair. I mean, the system didn't seem to particularly work, and we did alter it a couple of times, but defensively, we all know he's not a left-back. He was exposed a couple of times, but I thought, you know what, he came through well, and it's only going to add to his experience. So, fair play Zinchenko. Next to him, of course, we had Kyle Walker at right-back, Edison in between his sticks, and that phenomenal Stones and Laporte partnership at the back. And although he did concede 2 goals, Aymeric Laporte for me was man of the match, because he was absolutely outstanding once again. In terms of how the game went, Lyon, just like they did in the game in Manchester, came out of the blocks really, really quickly, and we struggled to deal with them. We got to half-time at 0-0. Both teams had chances. Mahrez missed a couple of gilt-edged ones for us, but nowhere near to the extent to the ones that Lyon had missed. I mean, Cornet, whatever his name is, he scored twice against us. I think the commentator said he's only scored 4 goals this season as a total, and 3 of those were against us, 2 in the game tonight and 1 in the away game in Manchester for them. So he's clearly liking playing against us right now, but he missed a couple of really great chances in the first half. Depay missed a great chance as well on the volley where he should have tapped in, and yeah, although I think there was a stat at half-time Lyon hadn't had a shot on target, my word, I don't know how they hadn't gone into the break 1-0 up, because they created some magnificent chances. As mentioned, we had a couple of chances ourselves. Mahrez had a chance that came to him on the edge of the box a couple of times where he should have done better, but like I say, nowhere near to the extent of the opportunities that Lyon had. And then going into the second half, we actually played a lot better, because in the first half, Lyon were by far the better team. We probably shaded possession, I think, but they looked so much more dangerous when they were on the ball. I mean, talking of Lyon and their squad just for a second now, I mean, Dembele was so impressive in that game in Manchester, and he was equally impressive again tonight. He really does look like a phenomenal talent, and you can see why some of the bigger European teams are sniffing around. I think they'll do really, really well to keep hold of them. I mean, I think I touched upon it in the past how they've lost some of their big players, never been able to keep them, the likes of Benzema, Tolisso more recently, you know, and then Dembele looks like he's another one that could well be on his way, because he looks absolutely outstanding. He's great on the ball, strong, athletic, pacing. He's got a really quick turn on him as well. I mean, he turns defence into attack so quickly and does really well at just breaking up the plays. The kind of player that it wouldn't surprise me if we went in for as a potential replacement for Fernandinho, to be honest. But looking past him, Fekir was another one who looked really, really dangerous whenever he got on the ball, particularly in the first half. He sort of got quieter as the game went on, but in that first half, he really did run the show for Lyon. And again, you can understand why the likes of Liverpool are coming in for him, because he's a top-class player. And, you know, there was a lot of strong performers in their team, but you really can tell that those two, as far as I'm concerned, are the 2 players that really stood out. But yes, second half they did take the lead, despite the fact we came out a lot better. We kept the ball a lot better than we did in the first half, looked a bit more dangerous. They took the lead through Cornet, and it was a really, really nice goal, to be honest. I think it was on his left foot, curled one in past Edison, right in the top corner. Probably the hardest shots he had on the night, and ended up tucking that one away. But we came back really, really quickly, thanks to an Aymeric Laporte header from a corner. It was flicked on. I think it was by Fernandinho, but I can't quite remember now. Apologies. It was flicked on from the corner, and Laporte met it really sweetly to nod in. And as I say, for me, he was man of the match. Absolutely outstanding, not only because of the goal that he scored, but putting some fantastic challenges at the back, and was pivotal to the reason that we came in at half-time 0-0. He really was absolutely exceptional, and once more was just, you know, putting another phenomenal performance that just rubber stamps how good he's been this season. He really has been the exceptional centre-back at the club, and that's saying something, because Stones has been great as well, but Laporte again tonight was absolutely phenomenal. Once we got back into the game, again, we were looking more comfortable in the second half, keeping the ball better, looking dangerous, and we had a couple of half chances. I mean, it was one of those nights where every time we looked like we were going to get a half chance, the ball didn't quite break, stuff just wasn't quite happening. And Lyon played really well as well, let's not take that away from them. And they then retook the lead, made it 2-1, and it was Cornet again. And it was a goal where I actually thought Edison could have done a little bit better. It was at his near post, Karen rushing out, couldn't quite get anything of his body in the way of the shot, and yeah, tucked it away really nicely. It was a good move leading up to that, to be fair, because it was all from a quick free kick, essentially. So we were punished out. I wouldn't say we weren't switched on for a quick free kick, but they took advantage really, really well. But again, an instant reply from ourselves. Another corner, and this time it was Sergio Aguero who did really well to get his head onto it and put it right in the corner where Anthony Lopez stood no chance whatsoever. And I do think, although it wasn't our best performance this season, you saw a different side of City tonight. You saw the fact, you know, we've got the set pieces in our locker as well, scoring 2 of those, a resilience in the squad to come back strong whenever we went behind. And also, like I say, I mean, we've been really solid defensively anyway all season, but we withstood a lot of pressure tonight and still managed to stay in the game. So a lot more of a resilient display than you used to seeing from City this season, but just adds another string to our bow in that kind of performance, because like I say, we were second best for a lot of the night and still managed to come away with the draw, which is absolutely fantastic. In terms of going forward in the group now, we are 3 points ahead of Lyon. I think we're on 10 points, they're on 7. If they were to win the last game and we were to lose, that would put us obviously level on points, and they would finish above us on a head-to-head, obviously, because they won in Manchester and we've drawn tonight. So we need to make sure we get a point from that last game, but that pretty much puts us through in the group stages. Well, we are through, confirmed to be through now, but yeah, it's just the top spot that's left to play for, and hopefully that means we can see Phil Foden potentially in the game against Hoffenheim now. I was really surprised that he didn't start tonight, to be honest, because there was a lack of another central player in the midfield. We had Fernandinho and David Silva, and then that was really in the middle of the park. We needed another body in there, so I was a bit disappointed not to see Foden, and I think you probably will see him in that game against Hoffenheim. But, you know, considering we lost our first game in the group against Lyon, let's not forget, to be in the position that we're in now is absolutely fantastic. You know, we're through in the group stages. We can look forward to the knockouts. It's just a matter of making sure we get the job done now, making sure we get at least a point. That's all we need against Hoffenheim, and that will take us through into the knockouts as the group champions. But that is going to end off this video, guys. Like I say, really impressed with Lyon again. Great side with a couple of really quality players, and I think it just showed another side of our game tonight, that we can come through a game like that when we're not at our best, under the cosh, not playing our best football, and still get the result that's required on the night. But let me know your thoughts on the game in the comment section down below. Always really interesting to hear, and as I mentioned at the very start of the video, if you did enjoy it, make sure to leave a big thumbs up as well. But that is going to end it all off, guys. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and I will speak to you all in the next video. Nidge out.